I absolutely love Google Sheets. There are millions of things that you can do with Google Sheets, and there are millions of things that it will do for you that you may not even realize. So I wanted to show you a couple of those things. It's really quick. Most often when you have a sheet, you have some data in your sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. One of the things I do more than anything else is I like to count how many pieces of data I have. It might be because I have grades or I might have names or something. So I can use a function to do that. However, you'll notice that I selected a list of numbers, and down in the bottom right hand corner, all of a sudden this little gray box appeared and it told me the sum of all my numbers. Well, that was pretty nice of them. Now, if you see a couple of arrows there, that means you can click on it and it's going to give you some other information. It's also going to tell you things like here it shows me the average, the minimum, and the maximum. And this is the thing that I like to use. It counts them. So it says, hey, you have 10 things selected. And you can also just count the numbers depending on what is in your sheet. So that was really cool. And all I had to do was select some information. And this works for other types of data too. I'm going to move over to another sheet really fast. There we go. So here I have letters. When I select them, again, you'll see down in the bottom right hand corner, this time it just gives me a count. I know it's kind of tiny, but it just tells me that I have 12 things selected. It does not have arrows, which means it's not going to show me anything extra. And it works with words too, so I can select those student names over there. And again, because it's words, it's just going to count it. Now, I'm going back to my other sheet. That was one quick little tool that appeared and I didn't even do anything. When I select the data again, I'm going to look over next to that box is this green thing that says Explore. This is a new feature that they've added and it allows you to explore your data. So I'm going to open that up and it's going to make a sidebar over there on the right. And first off, it's going to give me some information about my set of data. And when you hover over that, you'll see that you have a little movement thing that allows you to move that information into your sheet. How cool is that, right? You'll also notice that it made a graph for me. It showed me the graph of my numbers that I had selected. And if I wanted to, I could insert that chart directly into my sheet. If I liked that one already, I didn't even have to go about it the long way. I can also view it in full size if I want to see. There's my lovely little graph. And again, if I want, I can insert that directly into my sheet. Now, if I want to look at another set of data, I'm going to highlight both of them. Still will do all those other things for me like we saw before. And again, we can explore our data. This time it's going to look a little bit different because it's looking at it, it's looking at both columns. Then it will look at each column individually for me if I want. These aren't all the charts, and if I were going to graph this information, I probably wouldn't graph them this way. However, this is a really handy way to use a quick preview of your data if you were interested in looking at it in terms of sums, averages, and things like that. It is really cool when you have a lot more data. I'm going to move over to another sheet that has tons of data in it. So here I have a whole bunch of pieces of information. And you'll notice that I didn't even have to select anything. The Explore is already green. So I'm going to click on that and show you what it explores just without me doing anything at all, not even selecting. So what it did was it chose some information to look at and it did some analysis with that information and it made me some various chart types. If I like those chart types, I can insert them into my chart and I can insert just various parts of it. Anything that you have the 4 pointed arrow over allows you to move that around. In this particular chart, I may only care about assignment 1, so I'm going to select all of those pieces of information. And then my pop-up appears so I can see the sum and the average, which is kind of handy. I didn't even have to do that. And that allows me to see my max, my min, and count how many students I had. That makes sense. I have 23. And then I can explore just this data this time. So now when I open up Explore, it's only going to give me information about that first column. So I have these pieces of information that it says, hey, you might be interested in. And then it shows me a couple of different types of charts that I have options for. These aren't all of the charts, and you can insert the charts normally if you want, but it's nice to be able to get this preview of your information. And really, average might be something I'm looking at, and so remember that you can take that and you can drag it right into your sheet, and it will take that calculation, that formula for you, and it will add it into your sheet. So those are just a couple of extra cool tools that you can use when you are working in Google Sheets.